And for all of us math enthusiasts out there and or just people who like pie, today is Pi Day for March 14th, 3.14. It's the ratio of the circumference of a circle to its diameter.
Wow.
You're welcome. St. Pete Clearwater Airport, which goes by the PIE airport code, will serve up free strawberry and key lime pie from 1 to 3/14 today. You don't have to be catching a flight. You can find more information on all these events I just talked about on abcactionnews.com. And because I love you all, no, I'm just kidding. Sean, our producer, brought you all pie. How about that?
I was going to say she baked pie, you know?
Come on, Dia. You want it to be edible, so you don't want me to bake it. 22nd rollover for this jackpot. Yes, it's been steady all morning long. We're just 20 million away from the record that happened back in 2012. And as you said, you can see it right here, $636 million. And it has plenty of people asking the question, what would I do with that much money? $1 could change a life.
That's a big, famous Winston.
Yeah. Good luck.
Between 6 and 10 o'clock this morning alone, nearly $4,000 in Mega Millions tickets were sold every minute in the state of Florida. People hoping for the chance to change their dollar into a dream. But what does more than $500 million buy? For starters, one of the hottest cars on the road, the Audi R8. At $150,000 a pop and 430 horsepower, you could buy one for yourself and one for 3,800 of your closest friends. And for that kind of money, you could also afford to buy 390 McDonald's. And think of it this way, you can always afford to supersize it. You know, you could buy choppers for that kind of money.
You can buy almost 350 of those, but Captain Al's not included.
Oh, man. Or if you're a thrill seeker, you and 5,000 of your friends could get season passes to Busch Gardens for the next 750 years. Well, their friends and even more friends and all these other friends. Ah! But I wouldn't make my friends do something like this. Corey! Okay, so you see it here now. That's what I look like on SheiKra by myself, front row center. And Corey is my photographer. That's who I was screaming for the entire time. I just got off the phone with lottery officials here in Tampa. They tell me $8,000 worth of tickets a minute have been sold from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock this morning. I mean, Mega Millions frenzy is all over the country, 43 states. We're talking about the Virgin Islands as well as the District of Columbia, and you can't win unless you play. So $1 and a dream. I know me and my photographer have one. Hopefully you do too. Live in Tampa, Laura Harris, ABC Action News.
Thank you, Laura. Sure.
Dia, do you like my dress? You didn't even say anything about it. Get back up here. Don't show my socks. Don't show my socks. Stop showing my socks.
Like the socks.
Anyways, you know, the winners are still a secret. But there are some people out there who already know who's going to win the Oscars. It's two guys in particular. I want to show you something. Take a close look at your screen right now. You're going to see a picture. There it is. That briefcase holds all the envelopes for the big night. Rick Rosa and Brian Kalina, they're two people from the PwC accountants chosen to do the final count on Oscar ballots after the 6,000 members of the Academy cast their votes. Predictions are movies like Gravity, 12 Years a Slave, and American Hustle will battle it out for the most golden statues. The night of awards will, of course, be hosted by comedian and talk show host Ellen DeGeneres with a star-studded cast of presenters. We're talking Angelina Jolie, Bradley Cooper, and Channing Tatum, Jessica Biel, and Hollywood legend Sidney Poitier, just to name a few. Oh, and also another little inside look into the Oscars. How do the rich stay richer? They keep getting free stuff. These swag bags are going to be getting $80,000 of goodies inside. The usual luxuries like posh vodka, chocolate, and beauty products will be waiting for those stars. You can watch Ellen and all of the Oscar coverage this Sunday right here on your ABC Action News station. Red Carpet Live starts at 7 o'clock, followed by the 86th Academy Awards at 8:30. And then we hope you'll stay up with us for ABC Action News right after the awards. How about that? Stop showing my socks!
No, here. See? Look at this. Look at this.
There are no shoes!
That's nice.
Go to ABC Action News. You can get all the Oscar news you need there. It's done. I can't do it anymore. That's it. Here's the thing. They know they can do it because we continue to pay for it because we love it.
Coffee probably cost me a nickel.
It's not as good, though. I promise you can't make it as good.
Wonderful. No, it is. It's wonderful.
And sweet now that he's stirred it with
Aw, that's nice. You two are so...
Gosh.
And breaking overnight, search crews confirming they have pulled 3 more bodies from the rubble of a massive gas explosion in East Harlem in New York. The death toll now at 6. Crews are still searching for 4 people who lived in those buildings. The explosion injured 60 others as it flattened 2 apartment buildings on Wednesday, at least 3 of the injured children. Investigators say the blast happened just 15 minutes after people in the buildings called the gas company reporting the smell of gas. Testimony is now in its 9th day in Oscar Pistorius' murder trial in South Africa. Grisly evidence is being presented this morning of the bathroom where Reva Steenkamp was fatally shot by the Olympian. At 5:48 this morning, we're taking action for your money. When it comes to home improvements, painting is one of the easiest and least expensive ways to add value to your home. But there are some important tips you need to know before you do that job for yourself. Dan Schaefer has more in today's Angie's List report. At 5:02 now, new into the newsroom this morning as the investigation continues into missing Flight 370. Australia now taking the lead in a new branch of that search. Clues point more and more towards sabotage. Authorities searching the homes of both pilots over the weekend, hoping to find some clues. Our Cameron Polam is live in the studio this morning with the very latest. Good morning, Cameron.
Good morning. There are several pieces to this puzzle.
5:04 developing now in Polk County. Detectives are hoping you can help them piece together a case of attempted murder. Authorities are naming this man you see on your screen as the suspect. He's 27-year-old Jordan Pollard of Bartow. Detectives say Pollard got into an argument with a man and a woman while they were all driving to Fort Meade. At one point, we're told Pollard pulled out a gun and threatened the people in the car with him. Then he shot the woman in the stomach. The man driving pulled over. Pollard ran off as the driver rushed that woman to the hospital. You're asked to call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-226-TIPS if you have any information on where Pollard might be. Right now, we're making calls to find out if charges will be filed against a Marion County teenager involved in a deadly crash. It happened Saturday at the intersection of County Roads 466 and 229 in Sumter County. Troopers say the teen didn't stop at a stop sign and crashed his SUV into a Dodge Ram. A passenger in that pickup, 59-year-old Arthur Miller, died at the hospital. The teen and the driver of the pickup, or just heavy winds. And you may be asking yourself, why are we showing you video of Alabama? Well, it's the same storm system that we're about to get this rain from.
Exactly. And the
Thanks, Meredith. 5:31 developing this morning. The search for clues after a man is brutally attacked inside his business. Our John Thomas is live in Temple Terrace, where police are telling us that this all started as a robbery, John. 5:35 now, a mountain biker is safe this morning after being rescued from the Alafaya River State Park. And the entire rescue caught on camera. Take a look at your screen right now. Hillsborough County Fire Rescue crews say the man fell while riding his bike through the park. Well, it took about an hour for the response team to pull that man to safety with special equipment. Officials say he fell in the woods about half a mile from the road. Fortunately, he is expected to be okay. Also this morning, a police officer fights for his life while a Baltimore man is behind bars after allegedly shooting that officer while he was off duty. Greg Thomas turned himself in on Sunday. Police say Sergeant Keith McNeil was shot multiple times in his car on Friday night. And we're tracking the results of 2 new CNN ORC International surveys showing who Americans think could be frontrunners in the next presidential election. Turns out 6 out of 10 Americans say Hillary Clinton has the right experience to be president. One survey found most Americans consider the former Secretary of State likable, honest, compassionate, and admirable. 64% say she's tough enough to handle a crisis. The same percentage of those surveyed describe Clinton as a strong and decisive leader. She has not yet decided whether she'll run for president in 2016. Meanwhile, among Republicans and independents who lean toward the GOP, Rand Paul is topping the list of potential Republican presidential candidates. 16% of those surveyed say they would be likely to support Paul in a White House bid. Representative Paul Ryan of Wisconsin got 15%, and longtime Texas Governor Rick Perry, who's considering another bid for the White House, got 11%. Yeah, I'm with William Brown right now. He's been gracious enough to let us in his kitchen. Some other people arriving right now making some more chocolates. I want to show you, he's famous for these itty bitty chocolates. He's made at least 40,000 of these this week for Valentine's Day. And you have got some really high-profile customers. You said Garth Brooks, Emerald has tasted them before, Wolfgang Puck, Whoopi Goldberg has bought them for First Lady Michelle Obama. And I can tell you they're very good. Today was my first day trying them.
We like to hear that. So, yeah, usually those are gifts for people.
Yeah.
So, like Garth got them. It'd be nice if we ever hear back, but, you know, at least they got them. So that was kind of cool.
Especially for Valentine's Day. I mean, I know you all are running kind of short, but you're packaging up the last little bit that you've got. What time do you open today?
We open at 10.
Okay.
And I'm sure through most of the day we'll have the chocolate. So we usually do sell out on Valentine's Day. So I think that will happen today, but I don't know when. It'll probably be late in the afternoon.
It was funny to me when you said you've seen some gentlemen who like to wait till the last minute. They sit outside, wait in their cars, and read their papers before you all open.
They're very patient, but they're reading their papers till we open.
Well, I want to talk about these macaroons, too, because these were actually featured, your recipe featured in the Hunger Games.
The Catching Fire, the sequel, yes.
And they were in the first one, too?
The chocolates were in the first movie,
Okay.
and then in the sequel we had our macaroons, and they actually have a line where one of the characters walks up with a plate and says, "Try one, they're divine." So it was kind of neat to have our product there and a line actually referencing our product.
But how cool is it to be the man behind the pretty colors and the delicious food?
Well, it's nice. I mean, I have to give a lot of credit to my staff because they make really all of them anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we came up with the recipes. But especially Marissa really puts a lot of effort into keep the macaroons in stock for us.
Also cool because these could be great Valentine's Day gifts as well. They're gluten-free, the macaroons are, and many of your chocolates are gluten-free as well. They're just
Almost
a couple.
all of them.
Yeah.
Almost all of them, yeah.
Very cool. And on Valentine's Day, I always like to say things are calorie-free. You can just do whatever you want to do.
You can say that.
You can say that if you'd like. So what's the flavors we've got here? This is
That's a red velvet. It's basically then a cream cheese buttercream, and then next to it is coffee with an espresso buttercream.
I like it. Well, Corey and I, they've made, like, my photographer Corey and I have been counting, so they've made at least 40,000 of these little hearts. We've probably eaten 3 dozen already this morning. It's all right. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll be back at 6:30, though. And for my good friend Dan Schaefer back at the station, I've got a little surprise for you. That's coming up at 6:30. Plus, word from the government that you're not as safe as you may think. What members of both parties are saying about terror threats across the globe. But first, Shay Ryan is here with Florida's most accurate forecast. Is that fog gone yet, Shay? We expect big developments this morning in the Lakeland police scandals. Already, more than 24 officers and employees are under discipline, but the state attorney isn't satisfied just yet. And today, we're going to see that discussion go public for the very first time. Our Rob Munoz is live in Lakeland this morning. And Rob, as we understand it, this is about Lakeland city leaders actually responding to the state attorney.